Cold call, lead magnets, and word of mouth are all techniques freelancers can use to get new clients. And I was just going to show a list with some examples, but instead of that, let's play.
For those of you joining us for the first time, let's quickly go over how the gameplay works. First, we'll be introduced to the 8 players, and each will be ranked on 4 criteria. Level. What level you should be at before using this technique. Ease. How easy it is to get your first client. Longevity. How easy it is to maintain a consistent stream of clients. And quality. Being able to choose which clients you work with. Then we'll enter the arena and put these players head to head. Let's play client acquisition.
What am I doing? Okay, let's play. Oh, and just before we get started, this is just my opinion. So from my experiences, I'm sure people have had more or less success with some of these techniques. But up first is cold calling or cold email. Basically just getting in contact with someone when they have no idea who you are. I'm gonna give this a level of intermediate to expert. You're definitely gonna need some previous work to show and hopefully some relevant work to the clients you're contacting. Ease to get your first client, I'm going to give a 3. It can definitely be a bit of a numbers game. When I started out, I just got a huge list of everyone and anyone. What I quickly learned was research plays a massive part in your success with cold calling. Longevity, I'm gonna give it a 2, as obviously you have to be pretty consistent with outreach to keep bringing clients in. But this is where cold email or cold calling really shines, being able to choose which clients you work with. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5, as you can obviously be extremely targeted with who you contact. Okay, next is freelancing websites, and obviously this includes Fiverr. But I can't just give a blanket score to all freelancing websites, as obviously some are doing it better than others. I think level is probably beginner, but there are some more professional websites out there that will attract more intermediate talent. For ease of getting your first client, I'm gonna give it a 2. Obviously depends what niche you're in, but there is a lot of competition. Longevity, I'm also gonna give it a 2. I think the point where you're consistently getting good jobs probably means you're in the top 5% of freelancers in that niche. And then quality, I'll probably say a 3. If you're pitching on a project, obviously you've chosen to pitch on that, but otherwise anyone can get in contact with you for a service. So, on to content marketing. This could be social posts or anything else you create to promote your business organically. Level, I'm gonna give this a intermediate to expert. Of course, like anyone can post on social media, but to actually start getting clients, you probably need to have quite a lot of work out there and probably at a certain standard before people start getting in contact with you. Ease, I think it's a rating of 2. It definitely takes some time to establish yourself and then start building a following. Although on the upside, once you have established yourself, chances are that sweet algorithm will do what it does best and just keep promoting your work. So for longevity, I'm gonna give it a 4. And then for quality, you don't really have much of a choice with who gets in contact with you, but I suppose the people who are probably have seen your work, so hopefully that reflects what you wanna keep doing. All right, number 4 on this list is close network. I couldn't really think of a good name for this, but this is basically family and friends. Personally, I think this is a hugely undervalued resource, especially when people are just starting out. Although your immediate family and friends might not be in need of your services and skills, the chances are they probably know someone who is. I'm gonna give this a level of beginner, and it should be relatively easy to land your first client, as these people already trust you, they want to help you. So for that, I'm going to give it a 4. And then longevity, I'm going to give it a 2, as you can very quickly run out of contacts in this network. And then quality, a 1. You kind of really have to go with what you're given. Okay, up next is running ads, and the level is probably expert. To me, this feels like a route for a business owner wanting to scale. You're gonna need some disposable income to put behind the ads, and obviously there can be a lot of trial and error as you A/B test. Ease of getting your first client, I'm actually gonna give this a 1, as obviously it takes some time to research your client, and then you have to make an ad that actually connects with them, and then you have to pay to run that ad. But once you do have an ad that converts, chances are you can keep running it and consistently bring in more and more people. So for longevity, it gets a 5. And then for quality of client, I'm gonna give it a 4, as you don't really know who's gonna get in contact with you, but doing the right research, you can position the ad to attract the right client, hopefully. Next is number 6, and it's recruitment. Level, this gets beginner to intermediate. The recruiter is gonna need to see some previous work before taking you on. But if they do take you on, then they do all the hard work to get you clients, making the ease 5 out of 5. Longevity is going to be a 3. It's kind of out of your hands with how much work a recruiter will give you, but they are often pretty busy. And obviously you can always just sign up to multiple recruiters. And then quality of client, from my experience, I'm going to give it a 2. It's never usually the best work, and you don't often have input into what jobs you get. All right, down to the final 2. At number 7, a firm favorite of most freelancers is word of mouth. In fact, did you know that over 91% of freelancers rely on word of mouth as their main source of bringing in new work? And for that reason, level is beginner, intermediate, and expert. Ease, as long as people are talking about you, you don't really have to do anything. So I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5 there. Longevity is a 3. I mean, it obviously depends how established you are, but you don't really have any control of when the work comes in. And quality is a 3 as well. It can kind of be like a feedback loop, meaning clients will probably refer you to similar clients, and obviously that can be a good or a bad thing. And last but not least is networking. Level, beginner, intermediate, expert. Meeting people in general is always a good way to level up, I think, whatever position you're at. Although it's relatively easy to find events and meetups, finding someone who requires your skills and services can be tricky, and it also takes some time to build those relationships. So for ease, I'm going to give it a 2. Longevity also gets a 2, as you have to be pretty active in bringing in repeat business through networking. And then quality is a 3. Obviously, events and meetups might be specific to certain businesses, so that might give you some directions, but it's never really guaranteed who you're gonna meet. Okay, so that's everyone on our list, and I was gonna attempt to do like an animated thing where they all battle each other, but like, wow, that would have taken a long time. So instead, here are a few different scenarios. As a beginner, your setup might look a bit like this, focusing on family and friends, freelancing websites, and potentially some recruitment. Leveling up, it might look a bit like this, starting to do some outreach, growing your network. And then an expert might look like this, potentially running some ads. But have you ever asked yourself, what do I do in my career next? How do I move from beginner to intermediate to expert? It's definitely a question I kept asking myself, so I made this video that hopefully explains that. And I'm making a lot more videos on freelancing, so subscribe if you want to learn more. There we go, done, finished, finito. Thank you for coming.